I'm saying this with this passion because I can see the future and I can see a different Kenya. Many people sometimes accuse me of saying things that are not there because I can see them. Many people cannot see, but I can see a different Kenya. If we keep the faith, if we stick together, if we stay focused, if we are patriotic, if we are accountable. And that is why I agree with my CS, this man, John Mbadi, when he says that our detractors, we are not going to listen to you. On matters to do with SHA, the reason why we are unearthing the theft and the corruption in hospitals is because our systems in the SHA, the digital system, is now able to detect the fraud that people have carried out for many years under NHIF. Why do we have 30 billion shillings deni ya NHIF leo? Na tukisema wacha tufanye verification ya hiyo debt ya 30 billion, mahospitali wanaenda kotini wanasema they don't want verification. Kwa sababu wanajua ndani pale iko wizi. And we are not going to pay until we verify, because we are not going to spend public money to pay corrupt people. Ama namagani jameni? So we are telling the people who think the theft they were carrying out in NHIF watalete kwa SHA, nyinyi mnaota ndoto ya mchana. Haiwezekani. Hospitali yeyote, hospitali ya serikali, hospitali ya kibinafsi, hospitali ya kanisa, kama wameiba pesa ya NHIF, watalipa hiyo pesa. Kama wamelete corruption kwa mambo ya SHA, watalipa hiyo pesa na tutawapeleka kotini, kwa sababu we must be accountable for all the resources that the public have put at our disposal as government. Maneno ya e-procurement, kuna watu wengi wamezoea kandarasi ya ukora. Kitu ya shilingi 2 tunanunua shilingi 10 kama serikali, kwa sababu ya procurement ya ukora hapo, ya quotation na nini na nini. Tumesema tunaweka e-procurement. Wacha ijulikane imenunuliwa pesa ngapi na imeuziwa serikali na nani. Na mbona mtu wa shilingi 2 hakupata hiyo kandarasi, mtu wa shilingi 10 alipata. That is what we want to do. Mimi najua kuna resistance. Procurement officers, accounting officers, hawataki hiyo maneno kwa sababu wanataka kuendelea na ukora ya zamani. Alafu ndio wanaandika headline, sijui Mbadi, sijui 5 billion, sijui nini. Nyinyi na ukora yenu na maheadline yenu na ufisadi yenu hamuwezi kutuzuia kuhakikisha ya kwamba pesa ya serikali inatumika inavyopaswa. And we are going to implement e-procurement. There is no going back. Any official who is not ready to work with us in e-procurement, they can as well leave. Waondoke kwa serikali, waende watafute kazi nyingine. Look at what we have done. In 3 years, we have doubled our savings at the National Social Security Fund. We had 320 billion, now we have 640 billion. What is going to happen in 5 years? What's going to happen in 10 years? What's going to happen in 20 years? We will not be borrowing money from outside, we will be borrowing our own money because we will have enough savings. Look at what we have done in agriculture. We have cut down the importation of sugar by 70%. We have cut down the importation of maize by 70% because we have invested resources in production. Look at what we have done in education. Our struggling universities, today, they are on sound footing. We have hired so many teachers. We have transformed our education. Look at what has happened. Today, we are building 160,000 houses across Kenya, including 8,000 in Siaya County. Look at what is going to happen. What is going to happen in 5 years? Look at what is going to happen in 10 years. this country, good people, if we stand together, if we are focused, if we are patriotic, if we are accountable, this Kenya is going to change in our lifetime. And I am persuaded, and I am committed, and I believe that working together, we can change Kenya. Yes, we can change this nation in our lifetime. It is possible because we have, look at what has happened. Let me give you a bit examples. We have raised 300 billion shillings, not through any other, from our own resources for our roads. We are undertaking projects of 500 billion on housing, on markets, on hostels. Money we have not borrowed from anybody. Money we have raised from our own resources. Look at what we are doing in health. We are committing and we are spending close to 100 billion and another 200 billion in matters of equipment in our health. Money we have not borrowed from anybody. Money we have raised from our own resources. We have increased our savings by another 320 billion shillings in Kenya. Money we have not borrowed from anybody. Just imagine what we can do if we are focused, if we have a plan, if we are courageous, and if we know where we want to go. We are citizens of a great nation called Kenya. And this nation, it is our responsibility. It is up to us to change the destiny of this nation. What we have done to bring together people, to assemble a broad-based government, is because it is necessary for the unity of this nation, so that we can prosecute the most important agenda of development and transformation of Kenya when we are united and when we are focused in the same area together. Na ndio mimi nataka niwaulize viongozi wenzangu. What stands between the greatness of this nation and the present, between the future of a transformed Kenya and the now, is focused, patriotic, courageous leadership. That is what is expected of us. Na wauliza MCAs, wabunge, magavana, na sisi wote. As leaders, we have the privilege to be leaders in this nation. We must know that the destiny of this nation is going to be dictated by what we do, the plan we execute, the passion we put into our work, and the commitment and the accountability that accompanies what we do. Na ndio mimi nawauliza jameni, Kenya hii, there is no shortage of resources. There is no shortage of plans. What stands between Kenya and its greatness is bold, courageous, focused, patriotic leadership, as we have been told by the bishop here. And that is why we must stand together. That is why we must stay focused. And I am confident, mimi nataka niwaeleze watu wa Siaya, as I talk to the people of Kenya, I am confident about the future of this nation. Vile watu wa Korea walibadilisha nchi yao in 30 years. Vile watu wa China walibadilisha nchi yao. Vile watu wa Singapore. Singapore was at the same level as Kenya 60 years ago. Today they are in the first world. We are still struggling in the third world. Let me tell you, good people, we can change this Kenya in the next 30 years. In our lifetime, we can make this country go to the first world. And I am very confident that we have the ability, we have the resources, we have the capability and the human resource to do it. What we must do is to stand together. Look at what we have done. I want to implore on leaders, nyinyi ndugu zangu MCAs, my friends, members of parliament, my brothers and sisters, the governors, I want to ask you, let us work together. We can change this nation in a very fundamental way. We will stop borrowing. We will stop being in the third world. We can move this nation into the first world in our lifetime. Na vita ya ufisadi, hakuna mahali itasimama. Kama ni kwa bunge, kama ni judiciary, kama ni executive, kama ni county, kama ni maofisi zetu za mawizara, we are going to make sure that every penny that has been given by the people of Kenya must be spent as is required and must be spent for the purposes for which that money was meant. And we are going to be firm and we are going to be steady, and no amount of blackmail, intimidation, or whatever they want to do is going to stop us.
I want to say to the people of Siaya, particularly when my bishop, your word today of brothers staying together, a people united, will always succeed. And we want Siaya to be united, but we also want Kenya to be united. And I'm glad, Your Excellency the President, you are on the road of putting Kenya together. And this is exemplified by the fact that when you are forming your government, you included the people of Siaya. I know you will include more, but we have a cabinet secretary, we have 2 PSS, and we have directors, and as has been said, if any other opportunity comes, please remember the people of Siaya.
When I was asked what my opinion about SHA is, especially the systems, as the person responsible for financial systems in this country, I said that I'm very excited of the revelations that I'm seeing. People who don't have information and details about what Oluga is doing with the Duale in that ministry are the ones who are talking out there. Just by us doing an assessment in 6 counties, Your Excellency, out of 47, there are revelations that for years, hostels in this country, some hostels in this country have been taking money from Kenyans, and yet Kenyans are languishing and suffering without treatment. They have been stealing public funds. And when they are caught, they sponsor stories, negative ones, against the very people who are trying to clean up the mess that has been happening in the health sector. Dr. Luga, soldier on and clean the mess that is in the Ministry of Health. Don't be distracted. I am also not getting distracted to implement e-procurement. EGP is the way to cut on wastages in the government. My plea to the accounting officers, don't listen to your procurement officers because they don't want to let go where they have been stealing public funds. Make sure that you move around and ask your procurement officer to work with the National Treasury to implement this system. This system is going to save us a lot. My team at the National Treasury did not have a weekend. They are making sure that by next week, all state departments, all county governments are ready to do procurement through e-procurement platform. And I will tell you, some people are making noise that the system is not working. But they don't even know how that system works. How can you say it is not working and you don't even know how it works? Only 13 counties have been cleared by a controller of budget. So your counties cannot procure because you have not cleared with the controller of the budget. The ones that have cleared with controller of budget, by next week you should be ready to start procurement. So let us embrace this system. We are not bringing a system that is going to inconvenience you. Any new system must have challenges, but we walk as we move ahead. And I see some people reporting, Sijui, well, how did they put it? Mbadi's 5 billion mess. That system is only worth $2.9 million, which is about 370 million Kenya shillings. And it was procured in 2022 April when I was still a member of parliament. I did not procure that system. If you thought it was procured yesterday, you are behind the news. It was procured in 2022. I was a member of parliament for Super South, for heaven's sake. All that time, it has just been kept there. What I've done is to make it work. And it is in line with the National Assembly's approval in 2020 through regulations where they said we should go e-procurement. Members of parliament conditioned the executive to go e-procurement.
Your Excellency, whenever I travel around the country, and especially this region, one thing is certain, that the country has witnessed transformation that was never imagined before. Your Excellency, as I conclude, the difference between potential and implementation is leadership. Leadership. What this country has had, all the resources it has. This country has had all the minds and brains that it has. What this country has always required is leadership. Leadership that is prepared to make hard decisions. You have made some of the hardest possible decisions in this country. And you have taught us, as your cabinet secretaries, that it is better you make a decision which is wrong instead of not making a decision. And your hard decisions are indeed now bearing fruit.
Mr. President, we want you to continue. We don't want to engage too much in the future talks about Ruto must go, Ruto must go, Ruto must go. Ruto is going nowhere. Ruto is going nowhere because there are only 5 ways you can remove a president. First, either he resigns or he dies. If he doesn't die, he is defeated in an election. And if he is not defeated in an election, then something attacks his brain. He becomes a bit... and none of those things exist with the president. The president is very healthy and is there. If you want to remove him, wait for 2027 and all of us are there. So we are all Kenyans. Let us work together. Let us build bridges and let us see what comes and who comes out. Because me, Mr. President, I'm also a Gen Z. That's why I'm called youth leader.
Some of us, individually and even collectively, had placed ourselves in front to work with your government. And we really appreciate in terms of what has been going on. Like many were trying to wave for the president for the first time, or talking in front of the president for the first time, the much we appreciate how we are working with your government. In the last 3 days, Your Excellency, let me also take this chance to tell you that in the last 3 days was the first time I've worked with a cabinet secretary from Siaya in our villages in Siaya. For the last 13 years that I've been in parliament, I've never had an opportunity to work so closely with a cabinet secretary, with a minister of a government. And that was Opeo Wandai. We've worked for the last 3 days, going to the villages to see that we have power in all our areas. Your Excellency, this is for purpose of augmenting what we are doing. And I want to tell you, Mr. President, that including our community, that history is very clear in terms of who this community can work with. The works that can make this community work with other communities is very clear. History has had it, that there are people that this community can work with.
Your Excellency, by end of next year, there will be skyscraping building in all the towns of Kenya. And Kenyans will start to appreciate how you're impacting in our society in terms of affordable houses. Number 2, Your Excellency, I'm a beneficiary of your hard work. When you took over presidency, I had a loan that I was paying 175,000. Now I'm only paying 135,000. It means the economy is working well. Us, as the people of Siaya, we are feeling your government. My brother, Dr. Raymond Omolo, has a program for the widows. And that program is touching the hearts of women in the country. Number two, our brother, the CS Wandai, is moving all over to ensure that we have access to electricity in the Republic of Kenya. And finally, Mbadinyang is also doing his bit in Suba. Your Excellency, you have assurance that come 2027, we'll elect you again so that we can have a progressive society moving forward. And finally, I encourage county governments of Siaya, let us remit employees' contribution of SHA, which you have kept for 3 months. The employees are not accessing help because you have not remitted the amount. Thank you.
Your Excellency, I like your boldness. There are things you've done in the last 3 years that no first-term president would do. You decided to take housing head-on. You decided to take health head-on. You decided to reform our education. All the presidents who have come before you talked about them, did nothing about them. And I believe that if you are just patient enough, the reforms you've made in the last 3 years, Your Excellency, will reverberate in this country for the next 30, 40 years to come. Continue doing what you do. Don't be afraid. Be courageous, because the things you are doing are the things that are going to make this country our own Singapore. Hizi vitu tunafanya vizuri zote. Taribika, usirudi kwa ile mambo yako mambo matatu. Go back to those 3 issues. Mambo matatu. Because if you don't fight corruption, if you don't fight indiscipline, if you don't fight incompetence, we will not go anywhere, Your Excellency. So I want to say here in Siaya, kama ni wabunge wako corrupt, fight them. Kama ni court judiciary is corrupt, deal with them. Kama ni your ministers who are corrupt, deal with them. Kama ni counties that are corrupt, deal with them, Your Excellency. Don't spare anybody. Let's build one country. Let's build a country that all of us believe in.
When we are in Ramba, I made 3 requests, and I want to thank you that all the 3 requests have been done. First of all was the request for low-volume tarmacking of Kalandinka Elijah. Working with Waziri Mbadi and Chairman Atandi, it has been tendered. My second request was for affordable housing hostels for KMTC in Masala, Rarieda. 1,250 units, it has been tendered. My third request was for Ramba, a 20 million construction. It is in process. Allow me to thank you.
Na watu wa Ingo wako ndani ya broad-based government ya Mheshimiwa President William Ruto na Baba Raila Amolo. Nyinyi mko ndani ya broad-based ama mko nje ya broad-based? Hebu nione wangapi wako ndani ya broad-based. Na mimi Mheshimiwa Rais nataka kuhakikishia ya kwamba kama chairman ya public accounts, we are supporting Baba Raila Amolo Odinga na President Ruto to fight corruption. Sawa sawa? Ile corruption iko kwa serikali, Mheshimiwa Rais, onyesha sisi tutasaidia wewe kufagia ulete maendeleo hapa Siaya. Si ni ukweli?
Many a times when things are not working, the church is at the forefront, speaking out, especially when health matters are there. We want to urge you and all other religious leaders that in the very same way, when things are not working, we hear your voice, just like the political class also speak to some of those issues. Because we want to build this nation together, we also urge you to speak to the things that are actually working. And this issue of SHA, Your Excellency, even by the sheer number of people who have been registered on this particular platform, is a confirmation that it is actually working. There are a few issues, and we have heard in the news in the recent days, a few hospitals have actually been affected, and they've actually been registered. I just want to urge that this is a thing that must work just like education. The hope of a poor man is only in health and in education. So SHA must be made to work. And Your Excellency, I heard recently your cabinet secretary say that maybe there are a few members of parliament who are also running hospitals. If there is a member of parliament, including myself, who is running the hospital and is involved in this fraud, we want to urge you, fieka hao. If there are people in the mainstream government who are also involved in this fraud around SHA, fieka hao, Rais. If there are religious institutions that are running hospitals that are involved in this particular fraud, fieka hao wote. Because we want that every single Kenyan, just like all of us have access to medication, they can also get medication. Finally, Your Excellency, still on the matter of health, I now want to urge our county governments, because health is a devolved function. And recently you have spoken to free medical health in all our clinics up to level 4, from the smallest clinic to up to about level 4. For outpatients, we are urging our county governments, it is now your duty to avail drugs in all our hospitals, so that when the citizenry go to the hospital, they do not miss the drugs. And that way we will have a prosperous nation.
We want to thank you for your leadership, for your support, and for the love that you have given us. For the first time, under your direction, we have given our county governments the highest allocation in terms of division of revenue bill. We were able to increase county shareable allocation from 385 billion in the last financial year to 415 billion in this financial year. Your Excellency, an increase of about 32 billion from what was allocated in the previous year. Your Excellency, Siaya County is one of the counties that is going to benefit from those allocations. We want to thank you, and we want to thank Governor James Orengo for the initiatives he's put in place to help us also transform the county.